Welcome back to Toucan Rants.
We fucked up. You're not going to hear the first part of this.
It was epic. So epic. But
you guys missed out on, like, the apocalypse, the new coming, the ark, the Noah.
The rebirth.
Walking on water, the splitting of the seas, the rebirth, the reincarnation, the fucking killing, the apocalypse. I already said apocalypse.
It's the double apocalypse.
It's... a lot of cans deep. The question on the table. This is what everybody wants to know. Why do you read comics?
Alright, well, I'm gonna have to, like, strip naked, kind of, to explain this. So, my favorite manga is Bleach. And high school was not a very good mindset place for me to be. A lot of my life is not like the best place in my headspace to be. But comics have offered, especially Bleach, there seemed to be some like weird correlation between what was transpiring in the issues that I was reading week to week to week to week with like what was going on in my life at the time, like any like big struggles I was having. Ichigo Kurosaki was also having similar issues, but like his issues were obviously more exciting. Like, it's a lot easier to get through your struggles if you have a legit thing that you can punch in the face, as opposed to the weird nuances of adolescence and hormones and all of that good fun stuff that if you've grown up, have experienced. And if you are growing up, have fun, read some comics, they'll help you. I don't know, there's just something like when you feel super beat down and like just want to give up, and this character that you respect is also going through that exact same thing, but they have this sudden transcendence where they're able to overcome, it sort of gives you a little boost as well. That just helps you carry on. So I guess when I read comics, we might go back to like it's the whole nostalgia thing. Like, it just helps you keep going on. Like that's a thing that I'm not really sure how I feel about it at the current moment, but like the reason I got the entire run of Seven Deadly Sins was because, like, life sucks sometimes, but then you can just tap out of it and you get to like experience this whole other world that's exciting and new. It's a safe haven. It kind of makes everything else a little bit more tenable. I guess that's why I really like those certain moments, which I haven't ever seen in a Western comic. Like the best one from Bleach, the one that sticks out the most is in volume 8. Ichigo is going through he's trying, there's a big baddie going on. He got turned into a Soul Reaper. There's this thing, there are hollows. You read Bleach, right? There are the hollows. He doesn't want to turn into a hollow, but because he was a human who had the Soul Reaper, the Shinigami cast upon him so he could save his family. he had this potential to also turn into a hollow because he couldn't control the two dual aspects of himself. And he gets put into this realm where he has to talk to Getsuga, which is his sword. And I can't remember the quote for the life of me, but it was something about just like carrying on, face your fears, and keep going. And right as he says that, he comes back as an actual hollow. And you see the two kids that are trying to help him out to get through this. Like, you just see them in like utter shock. The smoke clears. You see the mask on Ichigo's face. And it's just this dun dun dun. Turn the page. Motherfucker punches himself in the face with the hilt of his sword, and the mask crumbles, and you just see like this smile on his face. And it's moments like that that make reading comics like super important. They help you get through shit. Some of them are just fun and good stories, and you don't actually need them for that. Like, because like, it's an entertainment thing, right? Like, that's why you read comics. Baby, well, I'll ask you in a second. But, like, there's a complete difference between a movie, a comic, and a book. Or playing video games. Like, I play a shit ton of video games. I have in the past. But I would definitely prefer to be reading. Because there's... people have said a lot that there is a lot of love that goes into creating this. I don't know if the reason some of the Western comics like are lacking that is because that love is not there. But it could be said the same for like even more so for manga because
I'd like to add heart and soul into a comic as well.
yeah, but like West or like manga is a fucking machine. Like it's ridiculous. Those people, like the mangakas who do it, they sleep maybe 4 hours a day. I've seen their schedule.
I was gonna ask you to bring that up.
Yeah, no, cause like so I guess for them, it has like it is an insane dedication to the craft, and maybe that's why it shines out more so.
Well, the Japanese are extremely dedicated to anything they do. I've seen some shit about Japanese tattoos where they work 12, 14, 16-hour days tattooing every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You know.
But it's I was going with like
But they love doing it.
yeah, but it's they love doing it, but it's also a monetary thing similar to Western comics. Like it's the unless there's more of a grind in manga.
I would argue that because I'm with you on this, the manga thing. Like you've talked about it in the past. Not to try and take you off your tangent, but
That's a rant.
your rant, tangent, whatever.
So it's toucan
There,
tangent.
there is. The way you've described some of that shit, it's insane. Like they whip stuff out faster and better than Western comics,
And
in my opinion.
Do you know
in my
how
opinion.
fucking infuriating that is? Because it's insanely infuriating because you have on some of these titles, you have one person drawing 18 pages, penciling,
and writing it,
inking, screen toning it, writing it, at the same time drafting the next issue for the next week. No, just wait.
have a whole different level of dedication.
But you just need to have, on the Western front, you have a person who pencils, you have a person who inks, you have a person who does color, a person who does screen tones, you have an editor. Manga has editors too. You have a person writing, sometimes two people writing. You got somebody doing the lettering, and they bring out one issue a month.
Versus one issue a week.
Yeah. And one of them has soul.
And they think one's better than the other. And let me give you folks a guess who thinks they're better.
Well, no, I've read fucking really, really good Western comics.
Black Science.
The Black Science is there, Saga's there, East of West is there,
Middle West.
Middle West for sure. Like, there are like Saga Swamp Thing was there.
Saga of Swamp Thing. I would argue
I guarantee for you Hellblazer is there.
Hellblazer's there. Some of the I would argue you want to go. We're currently we're naming a lot of indie stuff, but like you want to go big names like Snyder's run of Batman was good. King's run of Batman was
I would say King's Run of Miracle Man and Vision were
better.
And Omega Man.
Omega Man was amazing. You know, and this might be controversial to say and kind of off the topic of what we're talking about. It's kind of funny how those guys, when they started, these big names, right? Snyder wrote Swamp Thing. You know he wasn't a big dog then, right?
He did the 52 one, right?
Yep.
Alright, I just listened to Comics Conspiracy way back in the day, when in the Wayback Machine, and they liked the Swamp Thing.
They did. I remember listening to that one too. Snyder wrote, I want to say the first 10, 12 maybe. And then Charles Soule took over, and I liked him. Or, well, maybe there was someone in between there. Towards the end, it was Soule. The new 52 Swamp Thing was very well done, in my opinion. It was very good. But, like, you have these guys, your Tom Kings, your Scott Snyders, like, your Tinians. You go back and you read some of the... Tinian, UFOlogy. I mean... We talked about that. You were like, that was one of our best podcasts. There was actually something to talk about there.
Yeah.
But Tinian was all but of unheard of at that point. Snyder writing Swamp Thing, well, he was writing Swamp Thing. He wasn't writing Batman, right? King, Miracle Man, Omega Man. Like, he likes men. He wasn't a household name yet. And I think there's something to be said, too, where you're right, Swamp Thing, DC's like, yeah, do whatever you want. We don't give a shit. He doesn't sell shit for books. You go on Batman, all right, well, now we care as editors. You know, versus, like, manga seems to be more along the lines of the indie market.
But
they're creator owned, right? Like,
I don't think so.
No, are other people writing Gantz? Are they taking the characters and rewriting them?
The universe is open game.
Meaning someone can rip it off, right?
No, so I don't know if it happened with Gantz, but with Seven Deadly Sins, that's like a different publisher than Shonen or whatever this was. That's Kondishan or something. There are 5 spin-off Seven Deadly Sins in that universe. But I
didn't know that.
Yeah, but I think the person who owns it, like Shonen Jump, I don't know I don't know how it works over there, but I think Shonen Jump owns Bleach. And I think when they do all their promotional shit, like Shonen Jump gets a big chunk of the profits off of that. Like I think mangakas like get fucked from what I've heard. Like they are superstars, celebrities, but they don't reap the same benefits as like Billie Eilish. Like in like it's the publisher gets all the stuff. And see, I don't know. Do you know how it works? Western comics like Snyder, like how much bank is he making off of his awesome runs on Metal
I would
and
argue that
Justice
the
League?
publisher's making more than him.
But the only
But
reason,
that's the business. That's business anywhere. That's the same as the music business. Like Billie Eilish is making good money. I guarantee you, whoever her record label is making more.
yeah, but you
Now
don't
that
understand. No,
is
you don't understand. In Japan, like you see these characters from the manga everywhere. You see them on your ramen packs. You see
yep.
them on your candy packs. You see everyone walking around with little keychains
Would you not
of it.
argue that is good advertising by the publisher?
No, it's great
They do the
advertisement.
same thing here. They do the same thing in fucking America.
Right, it's I don't know. I would argue it's a little bit different over there when we talk comics and culture
Sure, but
and creator
okay.
creator
Let's
owned
back up. Let's
solo.
back up. Like comics over there are a lot bigger of a deal than they are over here.
Right. But
Okay,
that's what we're talking about.
so let's. Well, but it's.
I was
not,
making a comparison to Billie Eilish because she is the main creator of her works of art.
Well,
Same as
it's
over.
actually 50-50 with her brother.
Oh,
Her brother is very. Her and her brother are very. Yeah.
close. Okay.
Well, he
Oh,
produces. He produces everything. He writes the beats. He does all that stuff.
All right.
So they're like 50-50 credits on the song.
So
Regardless, it's within the family. It's yeah. But I would argue
the closest comparison then like Western would have to be Robert Kirkman, Walking Dead. But how many people, when you talk about Walking Dead, know who Robert Kirkman is?
I don't know. I would assume not many.
Right.
Or well, I shouldn't say not many. I would say the minority.
But I think he's probably making pretty good bank on it, on his IP, on The Walking Dead, because he's got a TV show, he has a spin off show. There might be another spin off show. There's going to be some spin off comics.
Who published Walking Dead?
I don't know.
I think it was Image. Maybe IDW.
Yeah, one of the two.
Okay,
I don't
well,
think
he owns the property.
Right.
The manga,
See, that's what I'm saying.
right,
like,
wrong, or indifferent, these guys are selling out to publish, to get their stuff published.
But still, Kirkman was doing. He was doing one issue a month. He got up to 174, 75, but he also had he had artists going for it. And yeah, he made 2 television shows, which is good. Like the only independent artist or independent creator who has reached the same pinnacle that Naruto did, that Bleach did, that One Piece has gotten to, that Dragon Ball Z got to, that Inuyasha got to, that Soul King got to, that My Hero Academia got to, that Seven Deadly Sins got to, that Attack on Titans got to, and that's the last 20 years and it's still going. Like the creators over there, I get it's a different culture and there's different emphases on it, but like these people, these creators are doing this week to week to week to week, and they are creating huge empires that are not only influential in their sphere, but across the world. And all the main characters that we have now are built on the backs of I don't know how many creators. Like, it's fucked up. And then you ask me why I think Western comics need to get better.
Yeah, I do because I think there's good stuff out there.
No, there's great stuff out there.
I think you lump Western comics in, and you say Western comics, you think DC Marvel. I think there's a lot of other stuff, and I
Well,
think a lot of these grassroots comic book publishers are starting to gain traction, especially with like Indiegogo and what's the other? I can't Kickstarter. Fuck. The big one. The big one.
see, if you played soccer, you would have immediately known.
Anyway, like I honestly think, and this has gone through multiple industries in the United States. I mean, Kevin Smith all but said, "Yeah, fuck the movie industry. If I can't get enough funding from my crowd, he crowdfunded 2-3 movies now. Tusk was all crowdfunded. The Jay and Silent Bob reboot was crowdfunded. He had to get the rights back from
Yoga Hosers.
Yoga Hosers was crowdfunded. Like he's
Did you watch the new Kevin Smith movie?
The Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Yeah.
Not yet. Have you?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Where can I get it? I didn't know it was out. Can I get it? How did you get it?
Yeah, it's legit out now.
Oh fuck! All right, I'm gonna get it. I'm pissed. I want to watch it. Is it good?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
Fucking love that shit. I love Kevin Smith. All right, side rant.
I enjoyed it. It
always gets weird.
It got super weird.
Yeah, it always gets weird.
It got hardcore Kevin Smithy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, I really like podcasts. I'm gonna have my own. Like, he shows up in the movie at a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Watching his thing. Like, it broke the seventh wall, man.
Yep. That's what I like.
And then it was even more trippy just by the very fact that he didn't premiere the movie at one time. He went around on a road show premiering the movie. So, like, you're gonna be watching the movie with Kevin Smith where he talks to you already, and you're gonna be watching a movie where he talks to an audience in the movie about the movie, and then you're also going to be talking to him again after the movie about the movie that you just watched, about him talking about the movie. Like,
Yeah.
like there were good things in there. I think you might have it might have a different impact on you than it did for me, just based on the themes that he was going through and what he was talking about. Like, you know the basic gist of the movie? Do you want the basic gist? No? Okay.
I mean, I live in the Kevin Smith universe, though. Like, I was a Smodcast listener from very early on. I was on all the Smodcast podcasts, Tell 'em Steve Dave, like, all the fucking shit. Like, anything Kevin Smith did, I was, like, on top of. I fucking love Clerks. Clerks 2 is good. Mallrats. Fucking Dogma. Fucking...
See, I think Dogma is, like, the best. It hits all the right things for me.
Dogma's really fucking good, but I love Clerks. Clerks.
I still think Dogma's better than Clerks.
Clerks is fucking amazing. Clerks 2 is good. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is fucking amazing.
Well, no, that's the other thing. Like, it's the same. It's so funny because it's the same movie being pissed about them rebooting movies, but he's rebooting a movie about rebooting a movie that was about rebooting a...
Yep.
like
That's why I like it. That's, like, he is not afraid to make fun of himself. Like, Tusk was good.
Oh, yeah.
Yoga Hosers was
no,
good.
I don't get like everyone's like vitriol against that shit. Like those were good movies. Like,
Did you watch Red State at all? That's one I need to watch yet.
no, no.
Yep. He did Red State. That's supposedly really good
And
too.
Chasing Amy apparently is good.
Yeah, I mean, Chasing Amy was alright. It's a more serious movie for Kevin Smith.
I thought there was one movie he did. It was a Jersey
Zach and
Girls?
Miri Make a Porno's good.
Yeah, I never watched that.
That's funny as fuck. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
No, Jersey Girls was the movie that he made that everyone hated and that he
Yeah.
decided to quit.
Yep, Jersey Girl.
Hollywood.
But then he came back and he did Clerks 2 through Hollywood. And then after that, he decided he was only going to crowdfund shit. Because he kind of got shit on about Clerks 2.
It did make me want to smoke weed again, though.
You know, every other day I want to smoke weed again.
Just give it a couple years.
Yeah.
Or, just move.
It doesn't matter. You still got to get a job.
Move like 2 hours away.
Still got to get a job that pays worth of shit, which means you got to take a drug test, so.
But you can easily do things to get around it.
I don't believe it.
Like, super easily.
Like what?
Super easily. Oh, apparently you can buy novelty pee. And all you gotta do is microwave it, get it to a proper temperature, put on some fucking spandex, strap that shit in there, go to the thing. They'll not fucking do any of the things that they say they're gonna do on the pamphlet. They don't pat you down, they don't check your pockets, they ask you if you have stuff in your pocket, and you go, oh yeah, shit, my wallet, my phone, oh, don't worry about it, it's okay. You go into this room.
Oh shit! When I went in, I had a nurse like almost stare at my dick and pee. She's in the room with me.
The place I go to, there might be an arrangement.
I mean, at the temp agencies, they're like, go in that room and pee. Alright, I can do that. But like, at Aurora, I'm pretty sure that chick wanted to see my dick, and she was not attractive. Some old ass fucking bitch.
Pussy's pussy.
Put a bag on it, right? That's what they say.
I don't agree with that fact, but
You don't agree with what fact? The bag or the pussy's pussy? Which part?
We'll leave that up to the viewer's interpretation.
We're all gonna get old someday, though, so. You old people out there, you do you.
Come at us.
Or that.
So why do you read comics, Jeremy?
That's a good question. Some days I ask why I read comics because I read shit and I'm like, why am I reading this? I read comics for a little bit different than you, and maybe I experience some of the things that you experience, but I don't actually realize them. For me, comics is an escape. Books, reading in general, for me, is an escape. Because, let's face it, life sucks. Nobody ever gets their dream job. Nobody does what they really want to do. And everybody has a job, their work. And I'm sorry, but nobody ever loves their work. That is a fucking thing that they feed you when you're young and make you think that you can find a career where you'll be happy. And at the end of the day, work is work. And I've come to terms with that. And if you're young and listening to this podcast, I'm sorry, but your job's going to suck no matter what you do.
That's not true. Just buckle down on whatever you believe in and do that without worrying. Just
There are
fucking buckle down.
always downsides to your job. You can be a recording artist making millions of dollars, and I guarantee you, you will be pissed about shit. You could be an artist drawing fucking the Mona Lisa 2 and putting it up in the Louvre 2, and you will still have fine shit to bitch about.
But you could also be dressed up as Mona Lisa taking it in the ass. And that's definitely not a job that you. Well, there might be some people who want it, but there
We
are different
all
avenues
take
that.
it in the ass. Brad Pitt takes it in the ass the same as you and I take it in the ass. Every goddamn fucking day. And you know what? When you get done with your workday, what do you need? You need an escape. And for me, comics is an escape to a fantasy land where I can live and do whatever I want to do. Now, that leads me to cutting a shit ton of comics in the past month. Thank you very much, Marvel. Thank you very much, DC. Go fuck yourself. Because I am finding that a lot of comics, I am not able to go into my dreamland like I like to. Now, maybe that's content. Maybe that's the books that I'm buying. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm kind of working through that right now. But I will tell you, Hellblazer, like, I want to be John Constantine. I want to give zero fucks. And that is something I carry into work every fucking day. I tell my boss I give zero fucks. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. No holds bar, no filter, all the fuck yous in the world. Don't care. Fire me. I'm good with that. Now, I really love Swamp Thing. That again is another escape for me into another world. I for me, it's just living in a fantasy land. And maybe like for you, you were like, oh yeah, it helps me through this and this and this, and I respect that. I don't know that Swamp Thing's ever helped me get through a day other than like my world sucks right now. I'm gonna go into Swamp Thing's world. Because it's fun and it's exciting and he's tripping on fucking tubers or he's fucking going through space or he's down in hell or John Constantine shows up and tries to trick him and he gets all pissed off. Him and John do not have a good relationship. Or maybe he takes over
Well,
John's
no.
body and fucks Abby and makes a baby and then the baby comes out and then they got that whole fucking shit going on. That's cool as fuck. This is all the things in my world where I'm like sitting at my desk like I don't want to work. All right, what am I going to think about? Oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool if they did that. And then it also inspires me to think about cool shit. Like Wildstorm is very interesting, right? That's a good example for me to fucking get my tinfoil hat on, put it on, pull it down to my ears, and be like, fuck the government. Not that I wasn't ever fuck the government, because I was fuck the government for a long time. I'll be fuck the government probably till I die. They take a lot of money from me that I'm not happy about. But it's, for me, comics is all the what ifs. What could be's. What happens. You know? Does that make sense?
No, 100%.
And for me, like, when I'm feeling down and I'm feeling like not going on, I pick up a comic. And then I'm like, living in this fantasy world. Like, even Fear Agent. Like, that guy seems like a lot worse than me, so I figure I can't be that bad. Or Wicked and Divine. You got all these gods going around, and they're fucking gods, right? That's got to be the greatest thing on earth. And yet, it's not that great. So then I figure, well, their life ain't that great. My life can't be that bad. So maybe I am kind of taking the same shit as you. Even novels, it just takes me out. Like, that's all I need. For me, that's all I need. Like, that hour or 2 hours I read every day, it's just taking me out of reality and putting me somewhere else. Giving me something to hold on to. Giving me a reason to keep going because I want to know what happens next. Not that I'm suicidal.
Seems very depressing.
Is it?
Eh. Or that comics are the best medium for portraying. Oh, because there is a thing about comics like that's very different than television and very different from reading a book, like a novel. Because
No.
I actually think that it's a better art form than the two.
Here's my thing. TV, you don't actually have to think. Novels, and I do like novels a lot. And I've often considered just going that route.
Nah.
Because novels allow me to create this world in my mind, which I really like. But I also like to live in these worlds that have already been created and can show me cool pictures. I like pictures. I also like that a comic can be read, like an issue can be read in like at max a half hour. You know what I mean? Like, it's a step out of your life for half an hour max, and then you step back in. I think there's something to be said for that. And again, it's just an escape for me. I've always said that. I've said it to a lot of people. I say I read a lot. Like, they'll always ask me, like, oh, what'd you do last night? I'm like, oh, I fucking read. And they're like, reading sucks. And I was like, well, okay, good for you. But, like, reading for me is an escape. It's a stimulation of the mind. Like, I could go home and watch TV for 6 hours. But, like, what does that do for me? Like, reading actively engages your mind. You have to think about stuff.
Well, no, you're just by virtue of reading, you're using your mind.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, nothing exists.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Where television, everything is just dropped out there for you.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm so ingrained in my routine at work that I need something that actually engages my mind. I always get excited when I get new projects at work because I can actually use my mind. Also, I read comics for this podcast.
Well, yeah, but that
can rant.
Podcast is just a byproduct of reading comics. But like, what is it about comics though? Because you read books, so I could read the same books you're reading, and it would be a shit ton cheaper, and we'd have a shit ton more content to talk about. Like, if we were both reading the same Warhammer novel, we could do a fucking, like, chapter by chapter discussion. Like, we'll knock out 3 chapters, we'll say, every week.
Yeah, but I mean, even still, I mean, we'd be on those for like a month. To me, a comic.
No, but that's the thing. Like,
It's
what?
a short story.
But what is
It's a short story. That's what's appealing.
short stories? But they're not really short.
Would you not argue it's not appealing to have a short story?
No, there's arguments that the only kinds of stories that should be told are short stories.
Thank you.
Like, that's a...
I don't have those arguments.
Like, yeah, well, no, like, the novella is the perfect form. Like, any story worth being told should be read in one sitting.
Criminal. Ed Brubaker. king of the novella.
Really? Oh.
Well, I don't know about that,
The,
but I really enjoy his shit.
the
It's
comic novella.
it's dude, you sit down and again, it's indie, but like you sit down, you read a comic, like it leads on to the next thing, but like it's very it completes me. I don't have an explanation. So you're saying why don't we do novels? There is something to be said for the comic.
Well, no,
It's
that's
a different type of thing. It's like you reading Garfield every week. It's quick, it's easy, it takes you 3 seconds, and it brings you happiness. Now, expand that, extrapolate that out. You know, you got these comics, which I get, like, because your argument is going to be like, well, issue 1 has ramifications in issue 100. I get that. But if somebody hops on at issue 95 at a new story arc and reads to 100, they're going to get the same thing we get. We just have more backstory. It's the same thing as somebody walking in and watching the new Star Wars movie or the beginning of the new Star Wars trilogy who's never seen the original 4, 5, and 6. The only thing that fucking matters, you can come at me at Toucan Rant.
Shadows of the Empire. You need to read 2.
Yeah,
That's technically all you need. You only need Empire, Shadows of the Empire. And then you need to have a periphery understanding of how it ends in Return of the Jedi.
I like A New Hope and I like Return of the Jedi. Empire's the shit though. Empire is the only one that Empire's good.
Or you need to read fuck, I just had it. Oscar, what was I thinking of? You need the Bounty Hunter Wars. Bounty Hunter Wars are good. And then you need to read the Yazam Vong Chronicles. And that can be your Star Wars.
Do you still have those?
I have the first 7, 8.
What happened to the other ones?
I never got them. And then to get the collection, it was like $100-something, and I didn't have $100-something at the time, or I thought that was an outrageous price to pay for.
Yeah, but
like,
I mean, we can find it. So
15 novels.
Can you send me a picture so that we can complete that collection? Because I want to reread those. That was really good.
Yeah. Vector Prime is one of the only novels that I have read 3 times. By R.A. Salvador.
Yeah, I feel like you've hooked me up with that, and that was really good too.
No, that felt like everything that I wanted from Star Wars, plus they threw horror in. And it's a really good combination.
Star Wars is great. I don't know, man. Like, you'd read Star Wars comics. Read the first how many issues of fucking Vader.
Oh, I read the new one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've read that. Dr. Aphra shows up. One of my, favorite characters now.
Yeah, and I'm saying, like, what was it called? Vader's Quest or something like that?
Yeah, there's Vader Down. Target Vader.
No. The original, the number 1, when they first rebooted all the when they fucking got the property, that original Vader, I can't remember what it's called. Fuck!
Beer break, and we'll find out for you when we come back.
No.
Nope. We'll let you know next time. This has been Toucan Rant. You can check us out on YouTube and leave some comments, subscribe, or hit us up on Twitter at 2_rant.
We're just 2 toucans who can rant because we got 2 tall cans.
Boom! Nailed it!
We're just 2 toucans with 2 tall cans of Coors Light who can rant because we got 2 tall cans of Coors Light. I got it right.
Yeah,
We're just
you
two
got
two
it.
cans
You got
with
there.
two tall cans who
you.
can rant because we got two tall cans.
I'm not sure if you're being a cunt and pretending that you don't understand it anymore, because you were nailing it.
No, I'm tired.
100%
I'm
legit.
tired, man. No. You know what? It's how many times I fucking nailed it and I didn't get any goddamn credit. And now you're like, ooh, you can't do it. Fuck you, dude.
No,
Fuck
if you can do it, do it. If you can't do it.
We're just two cans who can rant. Because we got... No, it ain't. We're just two cans with two tall cans who can rant because we got two tall cans. I am Jeremy. I am fucked up.
And I'm JD. I'm sober enough.
We'll see you next week with a new episode of Two Can Rant. With maybe some different beers.
Yeah. Peace out, feather fluffers.
Maybe some bullfrogs.
Jesus Christ, no.